All right, everybody, the market is closed. A kind of a calm before the storm kind of day. That storm is coming on Wednesday at 2:30 when Jerome Powell takes the stage and talks to us about what the Federal Open Market Committee had been discussing, especially where tariffs are concerned, their impact on inflation, and what exactly they see as the course of monetary policy. Do they see that it's the time that inflation's been rather subdued and that it's not going to resurge? I think it might be a little bit early on that. I want to take a look at the charts and I'll give further commentary as we go through. We'll look at Bitcoin, QQQ, SPY, IWM, and also give an update on those quantum stocks. Man, they took it on the chin today, but I don't think we're down and out yet. I'll give that commentary. Guys, if you want to see my analyses, my buys and sells, my technicals, before they hit YouTube, you can find them using the link in the description for the Discord. I'll tell you more about that later. In the meantime, let's hop on over to the Bitcoin chart, because on the Bitcoin chart, we have this top ray, this bottom ray that I have highlighted here for you. These big white lines that go all the way across the screen from left to right. They tend, if we look at the monthly chart, I've shown this before in my videos, they tend to actually show us pretty well where we find major supports and resistances over time with Bitcoin. And you can see the two that I currently have highlighted, and we're just at the top, a bit of a rejection on this one right now. If we go back down to the daily chart, what does that look like? Well, that's this top line that you see coming right across here, where we had one candle close up above it, maybe the one just before, but definitely one full candle up above, sold off. And today kind of finding support and making this nice broadening pattern that we see happening right here. On the chart, I took a call option position on Bitcoin, playing a bounce off of that, closed around 10% up, I believe. I haven't looked at it since I started recording this video, since the market closed, but that's probably about where it was at, about 23% at one point in time. That transaction posted over the Discord. So that was my other transactions that I had today as well. So moving over to the Qs, you see that rejection off the 200-day that we got on Friday, and then today selling down below it. As long as we stay above the 50 and below the 200, I think we're still in rather calm territory. If we get support off the 50, that's going to be huge for us. This blue 20-day that's curling up right here, about the middle of your screen, that's really what we want to pay attention to. 20 over 50 is going to be great for us. And Jerome Powell has the power, we'll say, with what he has to say with, when do we see that easy monetary policy coming? That could be something that pushes us up over that 200-day. If he signals that, hey, it's time for us to start pulling back a little bit and start loosening up. Now, mind you, I think it's a little bit too early for that. I think we need to see what happens around that 90-day pause, maybe another month beyond that. So I think it's going to get really interesting as we get into the late summer, into the fall type meetings for us from the Federal Reserve. But we'll see what he says and what the Federal Open Market Committee was saying in terms of tariffs, inflation, monetary policy. And really, even though Powell will say that they stay out of things that are political, they still have to comment at least on where they see the course of inflation going. And hopefully, like I said, they give us some commentary on the impact that they either expect or maybe things that they may have started seeing as a result of all the tariff stuff that we've had going on recently. As we go over to the SPY, SPY tracking the S&P 500, still down below the 200-day, down below the 50, staying in here, probably where we're going to be leading up until Wednesday. It's anybody's guess, but that's where I believe that we're going to be up until we have Jerome Powell speaking, like I said, at 2:30. Interest rate decision at 2 o'clock. Probably not going to do much. It's pretty much completely expected, at least as per the bond market with the CME FedWatch tool, that we stay right where we're at. So if we look at the EMAs, which I showed you, these are the simple moving averages that are up here. The exponential ones that react more near term to price action. We had the 5 cross over the 50, so green over red. The yellow, getting that yellow up over the red is going to be absolutely huge for bullishness if we can make that happen. The RSI is perfectly ripe, whether it's SPY, QQQ, or even IWM. As a matter of fact, let me take down the simples here on the Qs even. We have a very similar setup, and that's why I didn't spend a lot of time talking about both of them, that they are so darn similar to each other right now, staying above the moving averages, seeing the candles right on top as a bullish thing, seeing the faster moving averages cross over the slower ones, like I've talked about before, is a bullish thing. We absolutely have that happening. We'll look at IWM. We have the curl coming up this way on the 20-day, which is bullish to see that happen, sitting on top the 50-day, also bullish. RSI up above 50, also bullish. And if I put up the EMAs like I did for SPY and QQQ, you can see we have the 5 over the 13. The 5 is not yet crossed the 50. That's a slightly bullish thing. We also want to watch this white trend line that we have across here as it is part of the massive bull channel that IWM has been in for well over a decade, more like 15 to 16 years worth of bull channel that we've been in so far. And I'll tell you what, most of the life of IWM spends its time between white and yellow. And if we go out to the monthly chart on this one and I reset the view, then you can see that it lives almost entirely between green and red, dying above red, coming to life down below green. And like I said, spending its lifetime pretty much within those, going all the way back to, there we go, beginning of 2009, March of 2009 to present day. And I started my dollar cost averaging once again down here below this green line. And you can see we recovered quite well from that moment in time. So far, it's working out according to plan. So as for the daily chart that we see here, not in bad shape. The simple moving averages for IWM, a little bit more of a story. We finally got up over the 50-day these last 2 trading days. That had to catch up to what we had for SPY and QQQ. Still well down below the 200-day. And I've talked before about my pillars that prop up markets. Strong GDP, right now that's questionable. Easy monetary policy. Come on, Jerome Powell. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. Subdued inflation. If the tariffs don't rock the boat too much, maybe we see that happening. And then the last thing is a stable employment. That strong labor market is the last pillar. So the shinier they are, the more easy it is to get IWM to outperform, especially in light of cheap money, that easy monetary policy that's really going to get this going. So hopefully that's something that we see sooner than later, that the tariffs end up being a whole lot of nothing and that the market gets to rally on. If they do have a high impact on inflation, it keeps money tight and it makes it hard to lend money, hard to borrow money, IWM is going to suffer instead. So just wanted to put that out there for you. The quantum stocks took it on the chin today. QBTS down about 8%, almost 5% on QSI. IonQ about 3.5%. And then Rigetti down about 9%. So right now, we'll see what happens with that. The volume dropping off a little bit today from the previous day. I think that from a technical standpoint that we still tend to be in pretty good shape. We're up above the 5, the 13, the 50s. Matter of fact, we close it up above the 5 today. As we look at the daily chart, on Rigetti here, the RSI staying up above 50 so far. We'll see if we get that recovery, sitting pretty firmly on a decent historical support that we have back here. As we look leftward, you can even see before that we caught support right around this price level, right around that, just south that $10 level for Rigetti, which is one of the companies that I took a position on, a call option position. And then also QBTS, pretty much the same thing, although closing just 1 cent underneath. 3 cents underneath where the 5-period EMA is. For this one, still above the 5, the 13, and the 13's above the 50, 5's above the 13. So we're looking pretty darn good once again from a bullish standpoint. RSI right around 51, just missing that next big movement. We'll see if that aggressive play pans out. I think that it still has a pretty good chance for that to work. They're not all winners, but most of them are, and nets out to a positive. And like I said, those transactions, if you want to see the buys and sells, if you want to see the technicals, they are available by using the link down in the description for the Discord. Sign up for the earner tier. There's the expert, Ask the Expert channel where you can ask the expert panel, in which I'm one of the expert panelists. Matter of fact, I'm the expert of the week this week. So if you want to see a particular showcase, I'm there ready to share the insights that I have for around the different parts of the market, looking at things even from a macro level sometimes. And then also you get the bread bot, which tells you when the big moves are happening, up or down, AI tools, advanced charting tools, a community made up of thousands of members. And it's a very vibrant, very positive community. We'd absolutely love to have you over there as part of it. And guys, the products and services are seemingly endless. And then also, if you want to learn yourself about technical analysis, or if you want to learn how to use the bread recipe, which informs you a little bit more about what the bread bot's doing, and then also trading options, there's some coursework through Stockmo Academy down in the description as well. Bundling those 2 courses, options and technical analyses, that will give you a massive discount, an even bigger one anytime for any course, any bundle, whatever it is that you sign up for, using the code word DOCTOR, DOC. I say that again, DOCTOR. It's going to give you an even further discount beyond bundling those courses. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.